Say hey, Kenyata.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
So I think we gotta do both of us. Okay, so we're with the Wilds Community College, and here we're gonna ask you some cultural assessment questions. So my first question to you is what does your culture pertain to you?
Um, as far as my culture, I'm part of the Oromo culture in Ethiopia, and how it pertains to me is, well, we kind of got away from our culture once we got to America, but as far as how my parents interact with the culture, they still have some beliefs, or they still have some of the same type of system and ways of the culture, but now we're more Americanized in a way, if you can say that.
Okay, and just a little bit of the background about us. We met back in 2015. You was a part of my brother flight, and it was very interesting to know that you was actually born in Africa. So, being that you were 2 years old when you moved to the United States, were you primarily raised in this culture?
Yes, I was born in Hara, Ethiopia, and we moved here around I was 2 years old. So I'm primarily American, if you would say. For the most part, I am.
But you still practice the African culture, correct?
Yes, in ways that we can.
Okay. So about your parents, do they still speak? You know, because I know your English here is pretty good, but how about your parents?
My parents, they speak two languages. They speak English primarily now, but they also speak Amharic language. So primarily they speak English, but prior to them coming to the States, they spoke Amharic.
Okay, awesome. So if you were to have any kids, would you teach your kids this other language or your primary language, or would you teach them
I,
English?
I probably wouldn't because it's a dying language, and um, considering me living in the States, it's kind of irrelevant for them to learn that. But learning a different language that maybe Spanish, because that's kind of popular here in the States. But as far as learning the Amharic language, probably not.
Okay. So is religion an important part of your culture?
Yes, primarily back home, the Christianity is the most popular religion there. But I think the American way, Christianity is not taken as seriously as back home.
Okay.
So,
Um. So I know you was telling me about the Ethiopian that is not a real name for you guys, right?
yes.
And
Well, Ethiopia it has different cultures within it. It was divided into maybe two, three entities, and they just have different. You can look at those entities as the umbrella terms, and you have the different diverse cultures or tribes within that.
okay, and so to my understanding, Christopher Columbus gave you the name. You was telling me a little bit about this, and I didn't really
Just
understand.
the fact that like Ethiopia, it wasn't as popular as it is now with the name. The people of that area, they were called Eritrean prior to the Europeans coming down calling those people Ethiopians, which meant burnt face.
Okay,
So that's where the popular name for Ethiopian.
all right. So being that we're on a big time difference here, and you did tell me that we're on a tight schedule, I'm gonna try to speed up some of the questions because it is almost nighttime over there, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, as far as health wise, like, how do you go about that? Like, are there any health conditions unique to your culture? Like, is it anything that do y'all try to stray away from what word am I looking for? Like the actual medicines and try to go with the natural way?
Well, being that I live here in, that I live in America now, uh, you all like medicine. You know, you all go to the doctor regularly. But as far as my parents, they still believe in like natural remedies. They have, I'm not sure if you heard of aloe vera. I'm sure you heard of it. You see it maybe like on lotions and things of that such. But that's a pretty big natural remedy back home.
Okay, so like being us as the African American, and you're so more up on the African side. Here we have hypertension, right? That is a big thing, and diabetes. This is a big thing that's attacking our culture. So, being that you're African, is there any health conditions that go on with you guys?
As far as maybe malnutrition, you know, because Ethiopia is such a poor country, so malnutrition is huge. That's one of the biggest things. Of course, you have your transmitted diseases, your HIV, your AIDS, hepatitis. Those are very common among the Ethiopian people.
Okay, awesome. So let's talk about diet because I know that our diet is different, and I see you on social media trying this and trying that. So recently you were doing like a all smoothie thing. Is that something that developed from Africa? Because you don't eat everything I eat. I noticed that.
Yes. Well, actually, it's kind of a personal thing. It's nothing. I guess hereditary to my culture back home in Africa, but it's more on a personal thing. Me studying some things, just trying to better my nutrition situation and eat more healthier. Because back home, well, I know here you all process a lot more food. Back home, processed meat is not really it's a thing, but it's not as huge as it is here in America.
Okay, so do you guys catch live animals? Is that true?
Uh, I mean, you have some cultures that like they are deeply tied, into that. They still believe in those type ways because we are a third world country. So you do have those families or tribes that you may see a wild beast and hey, you got to hunt it down, skin it, and do what you have to do.
Okay, so speaking, how do you prepare some of your foods, like in your culture? Well, how do your parents? Let me say that because I know you.
Well, me personally, I don't really, but I don't really prepare foods. But my mom, this is one of her favorite dishes, injera. It's it's related to maybe like your type bread here.
Mm-hmm.
If so to say, but so it's a dough type texture. So she loves injera. Injera is like her favorite. So that's like one of her biggest things. As far as how to make it exactly, I couldn't tell you, but I've observed her, making it sometimes.
Okay, awesome. So, how would you define family? Like, what does family mean to you? Who holds the most important status in your family?
Family, that's like one of the most important things, especially of our culture. It's like a strong bond, if I had to define family. And of course, well, where I come from, the oldest male, he has the highest respect of the family. He's the go-to guy, the head honcho, the breadwinner.
Okay. So, education. How do your family? Would you consider education to be important to your family?
Definitely. That was one of the reasons my parents moved to the states. They value education highly, so they have instilled that into me. So I will definitely continue that legacy on to my kids. But education is definitely a high value.
Okay, so have you ever lived with your grandparents or your extended family?
I have not. Have not.
Okay. So, are the roles of men and women? Well, this is a big one actually for you. Are the roles of men and women specifically defined in your family?
I would say yes. I would say yes. I've watched my parents grow up, and I can see there is a distinct difference between the man and how he handles the household, and the typical American man and how he handles the household. So yes, I would say there is a distinct difference.
Because our interaction personally, you like to be dominant, and I noticed that's something in the African culture. Where the man is. So, is respect and disrespect an important aspect to your culture?
Yes. I think that's maybe in any culture.
Right.
The disrespect and respect. So we try to respect anyone and everyone. So respect is a huge deal. It's a huge asset of ours. So we try to take pride in that.
All right. So, are there any traditions that is performed like when someone is sick, like maybe ill or something? Like, what do your mom do for you if you call and tell her maybe mom I have a head cold or something? I know she don't tell you go to the doctor.
Right. Well, nowadays, being that I've been in America for a long time, it's really the Tylenol effect now. That if I had to ask my mom, she probably, they probably would whip up a remedy. I know she does this type of tea, this herbal tea, and it kind of I've had it a few times, multiple times, but it kind of ease headaches. I'm not sure what it's even called, but I've seen my mom and dad take it several times.
Okay, awesome. So, one last question. I don't know if I asked you this or not, but where were you primarily born? Where were you born?
Hara.
Okay.
Hara, Ethiopia.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your time, and this concludes our interview. Thank you so much. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good day.